taking it home round 3, we're going to cover future events coming up. First up, we have on December 3rd, the Ultimate Fighter finale being headlined by Michael the Count Bisping versus Jason Mayhem Miller. I'm going to go over to Dave. Thoughts?
Michael Bisping against Mayhem Miller. I have to give it to Michael Bisping because of your experience, great boxing, and his takedown defense. I'm not saying he has a great chin. We've seen Dan Henderson expose his chin.
No, we didn't see it.
Silva expose his chin.
No, Matt. We saw Dan Henderson because that was incredible. Let's leave it like that.
Yeah, but Mayhem Miller does not do knockouts. We haven't seen him do a knockout in a long time. We see him submit people, and we see Michael stop the submission. He stops those takedowns. He dances around. He pops and locks.
Name one fucking good-ass jiu-jitsu guy that he stopped. I mean, Louis Kane, who the fuck? Where is he?
Yeah, you know what? Do we even have to talk about jiu-jitsu? Name one fighter of great caliber in UFC that Bisping's beat.
Thank you.
I'll wait.
First of all,
Chris Lieben.
Chris Lieben?
Great knockout power. Great man.
And let's talk about when he fought Lieben. It's not the same Chris Lieben that knocked out Wanderlei Silva. That was a different Chris Lieben. Chris Lieben's a little bit more seasoned. He's a bigger pup in the game now. Let's put it that way.
Let's put it this way. Let me say something. People know already how I feel about Bisping. I can't hate people, but I fucking hate him. Number 2 is this fight might go to a number 1 contendership for a middleweight division. First of all, the closest thing that Bisping's got to a title is if he went to fucking Toys R Us and bought it. First of all. Second is like, yo, the dude's got no chin, proved it with Dan Henderson, who fucking literally, I saw his damn dreams in that fucking knockout. Number 2, Wanderlei Silva, who everybody's talking about should retire, almost knocked his ass out if the referee didn't stop it. Michael Bisping is a joke.
But Mayhem Miller doesn't exemplify, he doesn't show that he has knockout power. All he shows is he has a good ground game. That's what we're talking about. Let's not talk about Dan Henderson.
Okay,
let's not talk about his chin. Let's talk about what Mayhem Miller can actually do.
All right, he has a good jiu-jitsu.
What he can do is host a show and stop fighting.
Yo, he has a good jiu-jitsu defense. If I can recall.
Great jiu-jitsu defense.
All right, let me recall over here. I only got time in my head because I think I'm stupid. Is the fact that Wanderlei Silva choked him out with a fucking cockeyed face, about to rip off his head. If that fucking shit didn't, the bell didn't ring there, I think he would have tapped out or probably passed out.
He was about to tap.
So Jason Mayhem Miller, if he's got jiu-jitsu like we know he has, yeah, I'm just hoping. I'm praying for the day that he chokes out Michael Bisping. I can fucking walk away happy. I'll go home and have sex with my wife.
Michael Bisping and not hate Mayhem Miller. Mayhem Miller is the fakest person I've ever met in my whole life.
Michael Bisping.
Yeah, because Bisping is for real. All right, we're going to go over to UFC 140, December 10th. Second time now UFC is going to be in Toronto, Canada, fighting out of the ACC. We have it being headlined by John Jones, Lyoto Machida. We also have Frank Mir versus Big Nog and Tito Ortiz versus Little Nog. So I'm going to go over to you now, CeeLo. Thoughts?
All right, let's put it this way. What are we going to talk about first? Let's put Tito Ortiz versus Little Nog.
I'm going for Tito.
All right, let's put it this way. I kind of going for Tito too, just because of the fact that Tito's been there long enough. Little Nog is Little Nog. You ain't gonna compare him to his brother. You know what I mean? They're twins, but I mean you got a Pride champion, a fucking UFC interim champion.
Little Nog too.
Yeah, it's like
he hasn't really done much.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. Like I kind of am rooting for Tito in this thing. Nog just got the name just because of who his brother is, even though they're twins and the same age. But you haven't done shit. I mean, yeah, you beat a couple of good people. I'm not saying like. People that he's beat was bullshit, but you just can't. I don't know. I got Tito on this one, basically.
I'm not going to just say that Tito Ortiz is going to win because what Tito was known for as a champion was his cardio and his wrestling. Wrestling is Nogueira's kryptonite, and we know that. We saw Ryan Bader expose that. We saw Jason Brills expose that. But a man that has 2 losses is a dangerous man. We saw that with Tito Ortiz in his last fight.
Yeah.
We saw how he came out. Guns are swinging, but Little Nog's boxing can't be even compared to Ryan Bader because Ryan Bader's garbage boxing wise compared to
fighting Tito Ortiz.
Little Nog is still a very dangerous man. Trains Olympically with a Brazilian boxing team, and I feel like it's not going to be so hard.
All right, thoughts on Mir and Big Nog Minotauro?
All right, Big Nog looked great in his last fight. A healthy Big Nog is a dangerous Big Nog. We've seen Frank Mir slow down a bit. Yes, he is coming back from a win from Roy Nelson, but he's not the same Frank Mir we saw when he was the #1 contender, when he knocked out Cheick Kongo. I feel like he's slowing down. I feel like Minotauro Nogueira, Big Nog, has a good chance of pulling this out.
All right, let me interject real quick. At what fight do you notice Frank Mir slowing down?
Exactly. Give me those points. I should be wearing the fucking red on my background because, first of all, Cheick Kongo he didn't show shit in that fight. Frank Mir destroyed him. Number two, Pat Barry, if he didn't go stupid and fucking start wailing like an idiot, probably would have won that fight. And I'm not taking nothing out. Cheick Kongo, whatever. Dude's got physique. Basically, he looks dangerous, but he's got no chin.
Right now we're talking about Frank Mir and Nog.
Well, you just said Frank Mir is slowing down. I'm just saying, at what point have you noticed Frank Mir slowing down?
Against a Kokop fight. You think that fight should have lasted that long? I understand that Kokop is a great striker and everything along those lines, but I felt like that fight should have ended a long time ago. That thing went 2 very boring rounds. Very boring. When you know that Frank Mir's advantage is the ground game, to take him down, choke him out. Why wouldn't you do that off the beginning? I feel like he's slowing down.
But I look at it this way. Same thing that Van Lee said. The first 2 minutes of the round, Mirko's kick is still...
And people sleep on Mirko's jiu-jitsu, which is actually...
And the thing also is that, not to cut you off, Matt, but the whole thing for me is just... I think the jiu-jitsu style, Frank Mir is good in jiu-jitsu. Minotauro's great. But the stand-up, I kind of give more to Frank Mir. I kind of got Frank Mir winning this fight for the reason that he already proved that he knocked out Minotauro in the fight.
All right, main event, Jones-Machida. I think it's going to be unanimous here, John Jones, by murder of Lyoto Machida. I mean, I really don't see Machida... If the fight stands, maybe... But John Jones is such a crazy striker. I really don't give Machida any chance in this fight. But I have been proven wrong, so we'll see what happens. But, I'm going to go over to you, CeeLo. Thoughts?
Yeah, plain and simple. I'm going to talk as fast as this beer is almost done and put it this way. Over in, first round. John Jones is going to destroy him. He's going to take him. Shogun destroyed Machida in both fights, in my opinion. Second one was proven because we saw Machida fucking dreaming. And the fucking thing I can say is John Jones is going to take him down, fucking start putting some of the elbows in his face.
Ginger, thoughts?
Machida against John Jones. Jones has the longest reach of UFC history. Machida has hips. I still say hips are important to get in and out.
How's chin?
How's his chin?
Shogun proved it.
We've never even seen John Jones' chin get tested. When's the last time John Jones has been punched in the face? And if anyone's going to punch in the face, I feel like
Rampage
Machida
played with Machida, and Rampage didn't do shit.
Exactly, but are you going to tell me Zombie Rampage has a chance to get in?
Well, I'm going to tell you that Zombie Rampage beat Lyoto Machida.
This is me, Jordan, 98 finals. Over.
All right, UFC 141, December 30th, to close out the year. We have Brock Lesnar, Alistair Overeem, winners getting Junior Dos Santos, and we also have in the co-main event of that fight, Donald Cerrone, who's been on an absolute tear in the UFC since coming over from WEC, and Nate Diaz, who dropped down to lightweight, coming off of his win over Takanori Gomi. So I'm going to go over to you now, Ginger. First thoughts, Lesnar, Overeem.
Like I said before, I have to give it to Overeem because he's the more active fighter. Lesnar's been off of a major surgery where they took off like 5-6 inches of his intestines. I feel like cage rush is a real issue, and especially for a not so experienced Brock Lesnar.
Me, personally, I'm kind of going for Brock Lesnar because I think he needs this in his career, so he's going to go after it more. But the thing is also for me, my biggest test in Alistair Overeem is, do you got a chin? He fought a Strike Force. It's a joke. Nobody fought him. He wanted to fight Fedor and Malenko. Plain and simple, he never got that fucking fight. But who else is there? Fabricio Werdum is a submission artist. Now, Brock Lesnar, I feel like he's going to take him down to the ground. Fight's over. Once he takes him down, it's over. Yeah, ground and pound. We saw the Frank Mir thing. Frank Mir is a fucking black belt jiu-jitsu who couldn't do shit. He's got the weight, he's got the height. But I look at Pride days. Alistair Overeem got knocked out by Shogun and by Chuck Liddell. So his chin might not be there. We haven't seen Brock Lesnar punch somebody in the face. We might see it in this fight.
No, we've seen Brock Lesnar punch someone in the face, but we've also seen, more importantly, how Brock Lesnar reacts to someone punching him in the face. Yeah. And let me tell you right now, Alistair Overeem will punch him in the face.
I agree.
And I feel like that's gonna end Brock Lesnar's night.
Nate Diaz, Donald Cerrone. I'm giving the edge here to Donald Cerrone. He's been
I got 2 points for saying Nate Diaz.
okay. Well, Cerrone's been on a tear since coming to WEC, and I think he's gonna pull out the win over Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz isn't his brother, so we'll see where this goes. I'm gonna go over to you, CeeLo. Thoughts?
Yo, Donald Cerrone, I can't fucking say nothing bad. Yo, the dude's good. Yo, those 2 fights with Ben Henderson were great. Yo, those Ben Henderson fights against Donald Cerrone were great. And remember, that Ben Henderson's going for the title shot. So those fights were fucking epic. Number 2, I would say Nate Diaz, after the Takanori going fight, he did better than his brother did in Pride. Like, Takanori Gomi knocked down Nick.
But we're talking about a used up Takanori Gomi. He's gone through wars and Pride. He's not the same Takanori Gomi.
I'll agree with that. But the thing I can say is Donald Cerrone is dangerous. But we haven't seen Nate Diaz with his submissions like snap. You know what I mean? Like, he's good at it, but I don't know. I give it kind of to Donald Cerrone, but I'm not putting nothing past Nate Diaz.
Dave, thoughts?
Nick Diaz's strength. He's been jumping up and down in weight classes. Cardio is definitely an issue when you jump up and down in weight classes. Nick Diaz's strength is his jiu-jitsu. Nate Diaz. Sorry about that. I messed up because of your mistake. Nate Diaz's strength is jiu-jitsu. His punches are weak. You know, they're like little flimsy things. Donald Cerrone has a lot of hype for him. He has a lot to prove. He was a number 1 contender.
Time out. I'm going to have to disagree. You're saying that he has hype. Donald Cerrone may have had hype. He's proven it already in UFC. Anybody placed in front of him, he has beat, and he's beat impressive.
Well, I'm not saying hype is a good thing. I'm saying hype is a bad thing. I'm saying hype is a good thing. I'm saying that Donald Cerrone is going for that title. He's going to go through. I feel like their jiu-jitsu are going to cancel out, and I see Donald Cerrone knocking out.
Yeah, but the thing I can say is this. The only thing I can say is we say like all these little like bitch slaps because that's what it looks like to us. What Nick Diaz did to BJ Penn, and I'm taking it back to Nick Diaz. Now let's put it back at Nate Diaz, what he did to Marcus Davis. Did you see Marcus Davis' face after those little bitch slaps?
Good point.
Yeah, look at their faces after.
Let's look at Marcus Davis. Marcus Davis is a short man.
Marcus Davis is fucking not even in the UFC, but...
Yeah, exactly. He's a short man.
All right, we're going to go down to the judge's decision. Basically me. First round, we covered UFC 139. I'm going to go with my boy CeeLo because his views on things were more in line with mine. Second round, when we broke down the divisions, I'm going to go with my boy Ginger Dave. I think he had a better insight on what was going on, future cards, future contenders. Third round, here we go, tiebreaker. And I'm going to have to go with my boy CeeLo just because I absolutely hate Michael Bisping myself. And I cannot wait for Mr. Mayhem Miller to choke him and put him out. And please just put us all out of our misery from having to hear Michael Bisping's stupid mouth week in and week out, proving how much more of an asshole he is every week. So I'm going to let the winner go into the winner rant. Go for it.
Yeah, I kind of voted myself unanimous decision, but let's put it this way. The closest thing to victory Michael Bisping has is... Say that shit? Yeah, I won. That's the closest thing you ever have to it. Nothing. The closest thing Mike Bisping has to winning is buying UFC fucking Undisputed 2012 and winning a belt off Anderson Silva off a fucking video game. Plain and simple. Boom.
All right, Dave, loser rant. Any final words?
This just proves that MMA judging sucks and still needs to be reconsidered.
All right, well, for Ginger Dave, my boy CeeLo, and of course me, Matt Ramos, that was this week's Inside Clinch. Knocking out till next time. See you, fight fans.